Self-defense is great, but that's not the primary purpose of the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is to protect us against a tyrannical, oppressive government.
The Second Amendment is under attack. It's, I'd say, deeply at risk.
In history, you've seen African Americans actually benefit the most from having gun ownership. It's gun control that's actually been implemented to restrict our freedoms and to oppress us.
What constitutional carry means for gun owners.
Constitutional carry is saying that you don't need to get your government permit to say that you can carry outside of your home or your vehicle. People are sick and tired of the big government overreach. If I want to reconcile the fact that I want to empower myself and other women around me, particularly in college campuses, then I should be an advocate of the Second Amendment.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. The Second Amendment is under attack, if you haven't noticed, and your ability to carry firearms is actually, in some states, depending where you're at, it's okay. Some, it's, I'd say, deeply at risk, at the very least. Now, here to talk with us about some of this and what's actually happening in the United States right now is Antonia Okafor. She's with Gun Owners of America. And Antonia, real pleasure to have you on Crossroads again.
Yes, it's been a couple years, but
yeah. So
back.
Last time we talked, you had your own organization, and now you're with Gun Owners of America. Now, I know Gun Owners of America. They're kind of the real Second Amendment.
I like that
organization.
I like that.
the one that's really doing a lot of stuff on the ground. Let's talk first about kind of where things are at in the country. Let's kind of give a sounding board of where things are at, because there's some good stuff when it comes to protecting Second Amendment. Mm-hmm. There's also a lot of bad, but give us a big picture here.
Yeah, I mean, there is. First of all, thank you. Yes, we are the No Compromise. That's our official title. No Compromise Gun Lobby in America is GOA, and Empower 2A is now part of Gun Owners of America. So I'm really excited about that. That was the organization that I started. Now it is the women's arm of GOA. So, which I'm the director of outreach for now. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on when it comes to the Second Amendment. In fact, a lot of it has to do with what actually the post-COVID 2021 lifestyle that we're living now, where we have over 8 million new gun owners already in America, because there are so many citizens who realize, it comes down to themselves when it comes to protecting themselves, that the government's not always going to be there when they need it. And so a lot of people realize that important message, and because of that, when the sessions came about, the legislative sessions with states in Texas and etc., so many of these states actually pushed not only constitutional carry, which is permitless carry, but we have all these people who are repealing a lot of gun control, particularly on the local level, which is most people don't know is actually what impacts you even more than most. So, I mean, like I said, in Texas, we have constitutional carry, the 21st state to have constitutional carry. So it's actually been something that's been a great trend, and we're seeing it trending more and more in the U.S.
That's been an interesting phenomenon to watch in this country, that states are kind of following each other now. I think more than ever, really, especially as they see the federal government really pushing so hard against for state rights.
Absolutely.
Frankly.
Right.
Tell us about constitutional carry, and do you see this spreading as well?
Yeah, I mean, constitutional carry has been, particularly in the last year, has been huge. I mean, we're seeing it in state by state, but I would say probably Texas got the most attention this year, just because, for one, this is actually the third time they've tried to pass constitutional carry in the last a decade or so. For those who don't know, Texas has their session every other year, so this year was a huge one. And despite all the opposition that we've seen on the media, of course, is always opposition to constitutional carry, we do have a lot of people who are pro getting the government out of the way. And I do think last year of COVID and everything with that, all the restrictions that we saw, it helped a lot in the push to have constitutional carry in such a big state like Texas, because people are sick and tired of big government overreach.
Explain to us what constitutional carry means for gun owners.
So constitutional carry, I would say it's permitless carry. So essentially it's saying that the government is not giving you permission anymore. They shouldn't have been giving you permission because of the Second Amendment, but they are literally not making you have to go out, pay, and then get training based on their standards in order to get a permit saying that you are now deemed responsible enough to have a firearm. So not only a firearm, but to carry that firearm outside of your home. So
Yeah.
if people in Texas, for example, so you have this thing called the castle doctrine, which a lot of states have in the country, which is essentially saying that your castle, so in your home and your vehicle, you're allowed to have your firearm without a permit. But in order to carry that firearm outside of your vehicle or your home, you have to get a permit, which is concealed carry or open carry. This is saying, constitutional carry is saying that you don't need to get your government permit to say that you can carry outside of your home or your vehicle. So that's what constitutional carry is.
And it's interesting to think that Texas is like the 21st state.
Yeah, it's not one of the first.
Everyone would think Texas would be like one of the first. What happened?
I know. Part of that is the whole perception, right? Is that people think Texas is this bastion, and this is coming from a native Texan. Okay, it hurts me to say this and to admit this, but I think it's more important for the movement overall because we have to stop this perception that Texas is this bastion of freedom. We want it to be, and I think the ideals are there, but unfortunately we've had to roll back these gun restrictions like having to have a permit for open carry, which a lot of states, even Colorado, doesn't have a permit. It doesn't make you get a permit for open carry. So I think people are realizing that Texas is not the place that it should be, right? But they are finally getting people to realize that and actually take these restrictions back and help people. But man, I mean, campus carry, for example, concealed carry on college campuses, Texas was the 8th state to get that. I mean, even Oregon got campus carry before Texas, and the same thing with constitutional carry, the 21st state. We can do much better, but we need to continue to help people, remind them that we're not doing so well right now, and we can do better.
So just over 20 states. We got quite a few more to go.
Yeah.
What's the progress on this?
Well, I mean, just the last year alone, we've had, it went from 16 to 21. So we've had incredible increase in people in this session, which again, it's not every year that they have sessions. So there are ones that are just not going to be talking about constitutional carry next year, but the groundwork is important and it needs to be laid. We also of course, have had unfortunate, I would say, disasters when it comes to the government with constitutional carry. We've had Colorado who are pushing more gun restrictions after you would think people would realize that, especially after the Boulder shooting that happened a few months ago, that although they had an assault weapons ban that had just been deemed unconstitutional just literally 2 days before that big shooting in Boulder, although they have universal background checks, although they have all these gun restrictions in place in Colorado, they decided to go in this insanity cycle of pushing for more gun control. So they did that in Colorado, and it's probably one of the worst gun control bills, just rush of bills that we've seen in a long time. So we have these states who are pushing back in the other direction as well.
Now, on that, there's a few different things moving right now from the Biden administration. One of them is that they want to go after gun manufacturers. They're talking about making it so people can sue gun manufacturers.
Right.
Where is this whole battle at, and what's the likelihood of this getting passed?
Well, I mean, this is not a new battle. The trying to make gun manufacturers responsible for example, probably the most recent history is what we saw after Sandy Hook. There were a lot of people who were the parents trying to make the gun manufacturers responsible for what happened. I mean, they try to do that every year. I think now it's just trying to make this a permanent stay where it's something across the board federally. I mean, honestly, organizations like us, Gun Owners of America, we have lawyers who are pushing against these things. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to, are we going to allow the people of America, are they going to just allow these people to make those decisions and not realize that there are consequences in other industries that will be impacted when you say that this inanimate object that some maker made that wasn't intended to hurt people in a wrong way, it was intended to defend people, because this criminal used it in an illegal way, that we're now holding these companies responsible. I mean, that's going to have tragic and just horrible repercussions for not only the gun industry but industries in general. So it's something that we have to push back on if we believe in property rights, if we believe in business and individual rights and protecting those.
Well, folks, 2 months on now, and we are still totally demonetized by YouTube. But given the situation where we have to censor ourselves if we want to really stay on this platform and make it work, we've decided on something else, which is this. We've launched a new platform called Epoch TV, EPOCHTV.com. And through this, we're able to publish uncensored content. news that can criticize anything we'd like, news that can talk about anything we'd like, news that can give you real information from any part of the world about any topic without having to worry whether individuals will censor it. And in this current environment where information is being controlled, where narratives are being controlled, and where anyone who steps outside the boundaries of what is the accepted narrative by the fact checkers, quote unquote, by different big tech organizations, by media organizations, and so on. This is something that we believe is needed for the modern political environment, where people should be able to call things out. People should be able to question things. This is the basis of the Fourth Estate in America. The belief, again, that media should be able to hold government power in check, and that media should be able to inform the public about the issues they should be informed about, because that is the basis of our election system. An informed public making informed decisions. If you control this system of information, you control the political system. And folks, being a media organization, we can't stand for that. And so again, we have created an uncensored platform, Epoch TV. And anyone who wants to support Crossroads or support our broader mission of bringing real news, uncensored news, that's not afraid to stand up for what matters, please check out our website, epochtv.com, EPOCHTV.com. Check out the link below, and folks, please support us there.